Yes, I think so. Can you give a short notice in the chat from where you are coming, and that you can hear me well and that everything is okay with the perception? That would be very nice. I see Claudia, Naomi, Peter. You see the chat? Just shortly that we are communicating. I'm using, I must admit, new program. I tested it, yet let us just be sure that you are hearing me. Can you write shortly something in the chat that you can hear me well and that you are with us, and to say hi? Yes, Naomi, you can hear me. That's already something. I see Claudia, Yoki, Peter. You can hear me as well? As far as I am knowing, I don't need to allow someone in manual. Yes, yes, hi, Yoki. Yes, welcome. And also Peter and Claudia, probably that you also can hear me. So that is wonderful. Okay, so let us start off. We have just 1 hour and I want to share a lot, and I'm sure that you would like to know. So let us just start off and introduce ourselves. So I have prepared a small presentation, and even though I cannot see you, I believe that you can see me. And the topic of today is being unapologetically yourself and getting to know the strengths of your worst trait to celebrate who you are. So what can you expect today? Yeah, this is something probably that you can, yes, hi, Claudia. That is perfect, thank you. Now I know that I'm seen and heard, so that's perfect. So there are all kinds of scenarios that we are, of course, aware of, that we at times feel that we are perhaps a bit judgmental, or we are not so empowering towards ourselves as that we perhaps think that we would like to. So you might recognize some of those situations that I'm sharing here. So feeling stuck because nothing we ever do seems good enough, or exhaustion from constant fear of failure, yeah, that we are kind of holding ourselves back. Plus also frustration from comparing yourself, mostly unfavorable to others. Yeah, or just also fed up with feeling like you don't measure up, even though you try very hard. So all kinds of scenarios. Perhaps you write something shortly in the chat which is speaking the most to you. Then we can see from where you are coming. Yes, hi, Nyoki. Yes. Okay. And so there are different kind of scenarios why you might want to follow. It's also possible that you say, like, I'm curious about this approach. I want to integrate it in my own work, and which is absolutely worthwhile to do. So let us have a look at what we can expect then. So what we become aware of during this hour that we are sharing with each other is our biggest thinking mistake that we are making when wanting to live more true self, when we think like we are not authentic enough, or that we are kind of demonstrating behaviors and thinking thoughts, that does not belong to who you want to think that you are, or that you think to know who you are, and that you think like, I still have to do certain things in order to live more my true self. And the second point is get to know how your worst trait is a real blessing to you. And here I hope that you come with examples that we can discover that together, how they can be a blessing to you. And the third point is what is really needed to stop the vicious circle of personal development or not being enough, yeah? That we are coming to a level of enoughness. Shortly, for the ones who don't know me, I'm Karin Masnitsa Itarokot, and I have 32 years of my life I'm doing this work, and I am a coach, trainer, started ever with NLP, and since years I'm working more and more with the experiences I gained over the years, having worked with so many people, and so that is where the NEWEX approach, the inner world power, comes from. So that's me and my private life shortly, my friends, my kids, my husband, my loving dog. And since I'm now in Kenya, she looks very different. She's having almost no fur anymore. It's too warm. And then also a passion of mine and Naomi is to share this also with the community and to offer those kind of trainings with the community. And my new place of surely Camino Spirit, where I'm building right now and where I am going to live the future now of my life, I hope. So I have lived in Kenya 13 years, from 2000 to 2013, and I have decided, after now both of my children are going to university, to return to Kenya because I really love Kenya and I love to work from here. So let us have a look. Are you ready to meet your beautiful worst traits? And get pen and paper ready and let's start off. So the first part, our biggest thinking mistake when wanting to live a more our true self, and when we want to think, when we think that as we are right now, that is not enough, that is not like the real us, yeah, then it's the point is that you're actually not seeing your true self. It is not that it is not there or that you don't live it, but you can't see it. And you can't see it because you are not really aware of the difference between development and change. And let me explain what I mean by that. Let us have a look what is organic natural development. For example, here, an apple seed. Here is an apple seed, and when you look at the apple seed, and when you're not a gardener or something like that, and you know these kind of things very well, then you might not know of what that is, and you have no clue. And when you start eating it, it doesn't taste. I can promise you, I tried. So it doesn't taste. So we need to know that in order to get apples out of these apple seeds, we need to put them into fertile grounds. And at the beginning, it is just a very, very vulnerable seedling which really needs our care in order to grow further. And when you don't know what you're seeding, you have also no clue of what it actually will be, because when you look at this small thing, you will not have an idea that this will ever become an apple tree. And even when it is growing further, it's just a small tree. Until it actually has fruits, it will take quite some years. It is not something that goes fast. It needs our care, it needs water, it needs a good environment, fertilizer, and things like that in order to grow further. And finally, it becomes a small tree, perhaps just enough apples to feed one person. And after some time, when it grows further and the bigger it becomes, the stronger it becomes and the least care it needs, and the more it can actually also go to the outside and it can share what it has with the outside, till it finally becomes a very big apple tree and can be used for very many different kinds of things that we even might not think of. Like here, when you have a look at that picture, there is a child playing in it and hanging upside down in the tree. So, and you can sit in the shade and you can do a lot of things with this tree. And this is also like with traits. Then when those traits are developing further, they can come more and more to the outside, and other people also can benefit from them in different ways. But what is it then, how we are actually dealing with? Because even if you are some time in personal development world, And even if you are very much aware, yeah, that this normal pressure on having to perform and fulfilling expectations from the outside, yeah, that this is not really what you want and this is not how you want to live. Perhaps you have already passed that stage, yeah, where you are so much determined by the outside and expectation from the outside and expectation from society, yeah. And perhaps you have reached that level. Perhaps you're also still in it and you just feel that this is just not getting good with me because I'm not happy and I feel a lot of pressure. But regardless where you are, yeah, we are telling ourselves that we need to be different, even when you already have escaped, these pressures from the outside, yeah, that we feel that we are not our authentic self. We are not our true self. And in order to be your true self, we say like, okay, I have to have more self-love. I have to be more accepting. I'm still judging myself, or I have to believe more in myself, or more self-trust, or better boundaries, self-acceptance of your flaws, and perhaps you are because of that here. And I promise you, after this hour, you will have a very, very different view on your flaws. I promise you that. So stick with me. Perhaps you also have that you want to be more in the now and all these kind of things. Yet personal development world has actually also a whole kind of range of things that how it should be. And many of us, we think that we also have to fulfill those kind of things because otherwise I cannot live my true self. And we realize after some years, when you have perhaps already tried for several years to become more your authentic self and living more your true self, that over and over again there are aspects in you, yeah, that seemingly are in the way in order to live your authentic self. So here the point comes, always something that has to change, regardless if you want to fulfill expectations of society and stuff like that, or you want to fulfill expectations perhaps that you have kind of gathered in your head of what personal development, what true authentic self is. Basically, you simply have changed the jacket, but you are still not enough. It's still not good enough as it is. And that is the point, when we see of what development is and what is when we see of what change is. Because when you look at it, yeah, you look in the right way. So your true authentic you're looking for that. Yeah? But somehow you don't find it. So your inner voice stays that wants to tell you that no, it's not good enough. It is not of what it actually should be. But you are longing for something that you are not at this very moment. Yeah? You think that you're having certain traits that you're missing. You should perhaps be more assertive, or more accepting, or whatsoever. You know your own list. Yeah? But basically, wanting to change, yeah, wanting to change is a dangerous thing, because every time when you want to change something, it keeps you away from who you really are at this moment. You're always looking for something which is not there. And the thing is, and I want to prove that to you in this hour, so I'm not just stating something, yeah, but I want to prove to you that you cannot not be your authentic true self. Yeah? What we are is that we are ignorant to what lies already inside of us, those seeds that are not tasting well and that we don't recognize for what it is, and we put them away, we step on them, or perhaps we put them and say, yes, I accept that this is it, or you want to heal it, or whatever we want to do with it. But we don't see that these are the missing links, yeah, in order for us to feel complete, and also in order for us to feel more strongly of what is our fit in our life. But we don't see it because we don't look for it. We look for something out of the fruit basket, but we don't look for our apples. Yeah, we think that a banana is much better, yeah, or a melon or whatsoever, and that we need those things instead of taking what is there and putting it into nourishing grounds, having a conducive environment for those aspects, so that they finally really, yeah, can work for us, because this is all what those aspects actually need. So Let us now have a look why it is really like that. Point two, get to know your worst trait is a real blessing to you. So really to get to know that, and we need to understand and to see and to experience, yeah, what the beauty and the strengths and the significance in those traits are. So every trait that we have, every single trait, and even if you already live it beautifully, yeah, it has the capacity to be constructive or destructive. We can go to one side or the other side. It is based on fear when it is stressed out, or it is based on enrichment. But the trait always has an always visible, unchangeable essence of what it is. And that is not to be changed. And we cannot get rid of it because it is already part of who we are. It is part of this unique, special energy that we carry in life, where we find our place, where we find how we can be enriching for other people, how we can be enriching for ourselves. And knowing that every trait has the capacity to be constructive and destructive. And let us see if that is actually really true. So, what I mean by that, let us just take a trait, and you can already also think of a trait of yours or some trait that you're curious now. What would be there, something good in it? This trait for sure, it has nothing good. So, self doubt, for example. And when you say like self doubt keeps me from being my authentic self because I always doubt if I can do that, and then I don't move, perhaps. Yeah. So when it is fear based, then of course you don't do things because you don't want to get hurt, you don't want to be rejected, you don't want to be confronted with being a failure or something like that. And then you doubt every time of what can I do this, can I do that? And it can also result in becoming passive. That is a way how it can show itself in a destructive direction, and that is very much possible. Yeah. So let us have a look. What is the always visible, unchangeable essence of the self-doubt? So when self-doubt has no fear inside of itself, means it grows from the level where it has to be careful not to be stepped on, when it is so vulnerable, when it is so easily being damaged in a way. Yeah, when it moves from that aspect and it grows further in a conducive environment, then it has a capacity to be, I choose only what is a fit to me. That is the essence of it, because you're checking very well, yeah, can I do that? Is it a fit for me? Is it really something I want? That is when you don't fear to get hurt anymore, when you don't fear to fail. Yeah, when it is just there without any fear and without wanting to serve and without just the essence of that trait, then you just choose to do what is a real fit for you. And you also ready regardless of what the consequences might be, because when you have self-doubt and you live already some years with it, yeah, with self-doubt, yeah, then you know that you have endless missed opportunities, that you never took because you thought like, oh, I don't know, is it something, or what happens if, and so on and so on. Yeah, so you are ready in order to take the consequences for it. And that is also important. You really choose what is a fit to you, regardless if it is giving you views of approval to the outside or not. Everyone who has the trait of self-doubt knows that. People look at you perhaps and then say like, okay, why is she so competent? Why isn't she not moving? And again, she keeps quiet. And I talked with her in the break and she has a brilliant idea and she doesn't share it now. Yeah. So you must have lost already many, many opportunities, and you have the capacity to not to take that what everyone thinks you should take. You only take that which is a real fit to you. And that is the gift in self doubt when you have that. And when you put it in the conducive environment and it grows naturally for itself in its very own way, that is what is left over in it. But when you want to be sure and you're pushing yourself to be assertive and you're pushing yourself into certain directions, Yeah, that you say like, stop my self-doubt, yeah, and let me know that just take that job. Everyone thinks that it is good for me, and I might also be able to do it, and so on. Then you lose that very, very important aspect that makes you you. And so don't do away with the self-doubt, but take it, put it into fertile grounds, and let it develop naturally and further to perhaps making very authentic choices. And that is when it's in the constructive direction. And of course, every person and everything develops in its very, very own way, because we are not just one trait, and there is not like, oh, this will exactly how it is, but the always visible, unchangeable essence is seen. What you exactly will do with it is, of course, depending on all kinds of other aspects of what your loves and likes are. But what it has is that you make choices that really fit to you, regardless if it is popular or not. That is something that is not of your interest. You're very good in saying no to something where everyone thinks that you should do it. Does it make sense to you? Do you get what I'm actually sharing? If yes, just put a small yes or no in the chat. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Yes, you get it. Yeah, once you think about it, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense that when we want to be something else, we're really missing something. We're missing something of what really defines us, the energy that we are carrying. So we cannot look into the fruit basket and choose something that we want to be. And why would you want that when you have such brilliant, brilliant, brilliant traits inside of yourself? How you can express yourself in the world, yeah, in your very, very unique own way. Yeah. And that is something when we say like the traits your inner saboteur have created amazing, amazing, amazing potential for you. Yeah. But the only thing is sometimes they are just still fear-based. They are these vulnerable small seeds inside of you. Yeah? And because you have looked at them as obstacles and wounds and mistakes from your past, and perhaps also other things, that you think like, oh, I need to deal with it. And when you're very angry at times, then we are very angry because it costs us a lot. Yeah, then we want to get rid of it. We just want to get rid of it. We don't want it anymore. And when we are carrying this kind of energy towards ourselves, towards those traits, it will make total sense that this kind of energy, it cannot develop. Yeah. But you do need those traits badly in order to become more and more, yeah, a grown up, enriching person for yourself and also for the world. Yeah, because we want to express ourselves, we want to contribute, yeah, we want to be successful in life. And we cannot do that when we want just half of ourselves, when we are saying no to so many aspects of ourselves and looking at them at kind of wounds and mistakes or past situations that have occurred and we have now to deal with. Yeah? When we don't see the significance and the brilliance in those kind of traits, when we deny ourselves that, yeah, then we cannot feel whole. We cannot shine. It's impossible. Yeah? We are all the time busy with that. We are actually not complete. Yeah? We are not whole. And we are coming from an area of lack and insufficiency, yeah, and wrongness, that we are not okay as we are. And when we try to love ourselves and we think, oh, we have so many things in us, and this is not, and this is not, and so many sessions and so much work that I still have to do on myself till I finally will be a little bit in the direction of where I want to go. Yet you don't look at what is there, and you're saying no to so many aspects of yourself, but you do need them badly. And those aspects of you need you really badly as well, to see of what they are for you, to see really, to be seen. Yeah? And that is what we need as human beings, because those aspects are, of course, aspects inside of us. They are part of us. Yeah? And they want to be seen for what you really are, just like you want to be seen for who you really are. And when we are rejecting, even if you want to heal them and love them and stuff like that, you still don't see them. You don't see them what they really are for you. And that is the biggest mistake we are making here. And that is something that can really shift. Can you see that? Do you already feel a little bit differently about like your traits? If that just write a small yes in the chat. Yes, learning how to transmute our doubts, empowering, liberating. Yes, it's really transcending. Yeah, it is really transcending the old way as how we have looked at ourselves. Yeah, as damaged, as incomplete. Yeah, and then we want to be abundant and we want to be sufficient and all and stuff like that. But at the same time, we are denying ourselves. Yeah? Yes, thank you. Thank you. But I'm not yet finished. There's still more to come. So let us investigate some of the traits you have. And it might be your own trait, or it might be something you're just curious of what it is, because I can give you just examples. But of course, it is of much more value for you also for this hour that you are spending now this evening with me. Yeah. When you write a trait in your chat, and let us just see together what this trait actually has. What is the unchangeable, always visible essence in it? So just write a trait, something in the chat, and we will take it. There's a small delay. Yeah, I love also to hear from Claudia and Peter. Just write something in the chat. And you don't need to say that for me, you know, it's just something that you're curious about. What is it that you're curious about to hear? What is the essence? Let us do it together. And while you perhaps still think about it, yeah, things that we perhaps all know, most of us have that at times. And I also love to share that. Yeah, is okay. Withdrawing. Okay, withdrawing is a wonderful, good thing. Withdrawing. Yeah, withdrawing. When you look at the essence of withdrawing, you might say, "Oh, every time I'm getting out, you know, I am in a meeting, or there is a discussion at home, or there is something with your spouse or partner, yeah, and then instead of getting into the confrontation and assertively sharing your view and telling, you know, what is really what your mind is, you are withdrawing. And while you're listening, please just write for the next one, yeah, a trait in the chat. So withdrawing, the essence of withdrawing, that means we have to look at what it is when it is no judgment into the withdrawing. When we just look at the essence of that behavior, and someone who is withdrawing is taking a distance. He is taking himself out. Yeah, he's taking himself out of this set situation. So, and when he takes himself out without actually leaving the situation, yeah, and without the fear, you know, that you say like, no, I don't say something, I don't want to get close to this person anymore. Perhaps you are a physical withdrawal, it's also possible. Yeah, so then you take a distance. And when you take a distance, we have even a terminology for it. You are going in meta position with the situation. That means you are changing a position from being emotionally directly attached and fully in the situation, yeah? Thinking that there is real danger at hand. You are withdrawing and you're taking yourself out. And you look at the situation from a distance, and you get very different kind of information there. When you look from a situation from a distance that you are not directly involved in it, you can get very different kind of information. So emotions are generally going a little bit less. Yeah, so you are not necessarily emotionally so much in it anymore. You can listen better to what people say. You might have a better understanding of the whole process when people are fighting. So to going into a meta position and to look from a distance to a situation can have really very, very enriching information you won't get when you're in the middle of it. Does it make sense? Yeah. So don't want to change your withdrawal, develop the withdrawal further. Take the withdrawal and just put it into nourishing grounds, put it into an environment where it organically can develop, and it will organically develop. Development is something which is normal. This is just something which is absolutely normal. What is not normal is stuckness. Yeah, stuckness is something which is not normal. But development, that when you put the nourishing environment, that is all what it needs, and more it doesn't need. Can we have one more before I'm moving on? One more trait. Postponing. Yeah, let us take postponing. Okay, so what is postponing? When you are a postponer, yeah, you think like, okay, this every time again, I'm pushing things ahead. Yeah, I'm not doing it, and perhaps I don't do it at all. I don't start off at all, or I bring myself over and over into troubles because I'm not doing it. Yeah? But when someone is a postponer, what he has there as an always visible essence and quality, yeah, is that a postponer does not automatically jump into action just because someone is saying so, or because it should be like that, or society says like that, or everyone does it like that. Yeah. So he is, when it is not based on fear, because a postponer, when it is on fear based, generally he does it because he doesn't want to be exposed to that one. Yeah, perhaps he feels like failing, or there are other reasons why people, of course, postpone. Yeah, but when it is based on fear, yeah, it is most of the time destructive. But when we lift it into the constructive side, and when we put it into nourishing grounds, then the postponer is questioning the why and is the how, the whys and the hows. Do I really have to do it? Why do I have to do it? Why do I have to do it this way? Who says so? Yeah. And then they just don't jump into it. And they are very much able to find perhaps better ways, and also like to change the whole ways, or to change doing it at all. Yeah. And saying like, no, we are just so much routine to it, but there's no nourishment in it, there's no need actually for doing it. And people who are postponers in a healthy way, meaning in a constructive way, are very, very essential people we need in our society. It's not just about us, perhaps not just coming into circles without questioning those circles, of behaviors and expectations. Yeah? But those ones are also the people who are pushing and our whole society further, because they're questioning the situation as it is at this moment. Yeah? And we have many, many famous people who absolutely have developed postponing further. Does it make sense? Small yes in the chat. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Great. Yeah. So one last trait. Let us take one last trait. Peter or Claudia, Nduta, Yoki, just give me a trait. It does not have to be, yes, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Being inconsistent. Okay, inconsistent. So that means you are changing. Yeah. You're, when I would now be in the coaching, yeah, when we have our coach meetings once a week in the program, I would need to ask a few questions. Yeah. How you live your inconsistency, how you exactly do that, because there are different ways of living inconsistency. Yeah, but inconsistency basically, when you just let us assume, yeah, you're inconsistent, you're stopping something and starting something. Yeah, so you are not always disciplined. Yeah, yeah. So you would say like, I would need some more discipline. Can that be your inconsistency, Claudia? The one that you are inquiring at this moment? Oh, Peter says I found now the chat. No, it's perfect. So is it your inconsistency that you're starting and stopping things? Or the one you are meaning does not have to be yours? Yeah, not constant in doing something. Yeah, so you're not constant in doing something. And they, when you are not constant in doing something, we are asking ourselves now, yeah, you might not be constant in doing something because when the word discipline, yeah, when you say like, I'm lacking discipline, I have no self-discipline, today I'm doing yoga, tomorrow not, and then, or other things, you know, I'm starting and stopping all the time. Yeah, and there can be most people who have that, yeah, they have been forced to do things. Yeah, so they have been perhaps with a strict environment where discipline was painful because you were not asked perhaps like, is it really something that I want to do or not to do? And then even when we are meeting our own authority, yeah, then when we are meeting our own authority, we're going against our own authority. So because we say like, nobody tells me to do something, yeah, so I do it when I want it. But our own authority is just as much ignored than other authorities. Yeah? But when we are leaving that one out, and when we say like, okay, it is not that we don't want to listen to authorities, yeah, but when we say like inconsistency, when we are inconsistent, yeah, then we can also say like, when it is not fear-based, yeah, when it is not fear-based, but when it is just, it can be chosen, yeah, then we are able to really go with the flow of life. Yeah, we really can do what the moment asks us to do. We are not ruled by outside um, structures. Yeah, we are not kind of set into an automatic system, but we are ready in order to go with the flow. And we are using our intuition. We are using our instinct always in conjunction with what is happening at the moment. We are a person who is able to live with what the moment asks us to do. Yeah, because we are ready to leave outer structures. Yeah? And that is something that lies in it. So when you live more your inconsistency, and when you lift it out of your resistance to perhaps authority, yeah, but you are living it freely, yeah, without fear. So you come into the constructive side. That means only putting into nourishing grounds and seeing for what it is. That is all what is needed. Changing the attitude we have towards that aspect of ourselves. Yeah, changing it, not looking at it like, ah, because of you, I'm still not able to do this, and I've stopped again that program, and I've stopped again this, and so on. And I want to be disciplined. I want to have more, you know, that I do what I really want. So, no, not going there. Don't go into discipline. Discipline is not your thing or the person's thing who has inconsistency. Yeah? But lifting it out of the fear, putting it in nourishing environment and let it develop, yeah, for you. And you will see that it is a very, very valuable aspect of you. And you need it more in your life in order to live that energy that you are. Wanting to be disciplined isn't your energy. It's perhaps an energy of someone else, but not yours. Yeah, you need something else in order to shine in life. Does it make sense, Claudia? Okay. And as said, when we are in the coaching meeting, yeah, now okay, it makes so much sense. Okay, yes, yeah. Perfect. You start getting it, eh? But it is so ingrained in our system, yeah, that traits that are not haven't yet bear fruits for us, that they are not good, but that they have the potential, not just the potential, they are so badly needed, for us to be whole, for us to really live and bring out that what our nature wants to be brought out, yeah, and to be constructive, yeah, for others, to contribute. Yeah, we need those things. We really, really need those things. Okay. There was one more. It does on it. Living like doing things quickly. Like doing things quickly. Okay. Yeah. When you're more a surface doer, yeah, you're not going into details. Yeah. So this is what you're probably meaning with that. Yeah. So when you're not going into details, but you look just at the surface of things. Yeah. So you're not a detailed person, and then you're missing things and so on. Yeah. Why don't you go into details? Many reasons. Yeah. Many reasons that you can have why you don't like details. Why certain things just get quickly over with. Yeah. In one way or another, you have not had good experiences with it, but that doesn't matter. There lies a quality in it. So let us look at what the quality is and what it is actually in the essence. Yeah. Doing things quickly. So when we are at the surface of things, yeah, when we are more a person who sees the bigger picture of something, yeah, and doesn't get lost in the detail, yeah. So when you don't like the details, it's also like to respect who we are, yeah. That who am I, to really learn yourself, yeah, and not wanting to be something that you are not. So when you're a person who is not made for the details, but sees the bigger picture of everything, now perhaps it is good you're a person who is able to delegate people, to see what all has to be done, but not going by himself into the details. Yeah, that is not your thing. But you're actually a person who can see what is the surface, the whole, the whole picture of it. And when you embrace that, that you're doing quickly, and the destructive side is that you're missing things then, yeah. But you're doing things quickly, you're still doing things instead of seeing the bigger picture and looking at it from that angle and perspective. Yeah, that is the essence of it. Of course, I would in a personal coaching, when we have our coaching meeting, I also here would like to ask the question, how do you do that then? Yeah, doing things quickly. So how is it reflected? Yeah, and who says that you have to do it at all? And so these are things to find really the trait that lies in it. Okay, yes. So time goes further. And so now I just want to give you an idea, yeah, an idea that every trait that you have, really every single trait that is inside of you is there on purpose, and you need it, and it needs you to see it. Because only when you see that vulnerable small plant, yeah, and you nourish it well, it can grow. And when we don't see it and we step on it and want to get rid of it, it always stays in the destructive side. And over again, it pops up. And it is not more than that it is, because it's through the rejections and through not having gotten the care, yeah, it cannot grow. So let us go into the third and last point of tonight. What is then the real needed? What is really needed to stop the vicious circle of personal development and not being enough, of not enough? And this is really important, that you get that very well, what is now coming. Yeah. What we don't see is that development can't be forced and it can't be determined. It cannot be determined. It can only be observed. Any real organic development, yeah, can only be observed. We can only put grounds where development can take place. And any rejection, any force in development, any choice that you say, I want this, or you should now be like that, or why can't I be more this, yeah, is a rejection of who you are. And this is something which we really need to see by ourselves. Yeah. Even if you are judgmental, also that when you are judgmental, then say yes to your being judgmental. Yeah. And see of what it really is for you. How is it? Yeah. What is it, yeah, that you are doing when you are judgmental? I don't exclude anything of what you are. You will live your best you when you are taking everything what you are, and when you say yes to every aspect of your being and seeing it and being open and know that every aspect is an important contributing aspect of who you are and how you express yourself on this earth. The only thing is that it needs a conducive environment. Just like a child, yeah? Just like a child can only develop in its very own way and can live its talents and develop further, yeah, when the environment makes space for that. Well, when the environment just not push because you can draw a little and says, okay, now you have to become an architect, yeah, because you can draw a little, yeah, or whatever you show that you can do, and then already a fixed picture is there how you what you will become. Yeah? But we can only create opportunities for our children, yeah, and also for our underdeveloped aspects that are childlike aspects, one could say, yeah. They're underdeveloped aspects of ourselves and they want to develop. Just like a child, you don't need to tell a child that it has to develop. It develops naturally, it grows naturally. You don't have to do anything. You just need a conducive environment, and that is all that it needs, not more than that. That is really all that it needs. And that is something, yeah, something that I really want to give to yourself today. Yeah. Stop wanting to change a single thing in you, but create the space where development is organic, is naturally in your very own pace, just like a child, and in your very, very own unique way, yeah, together with other aspects that you are. And that is what I'm teaching. I'm teaching in the program that I'm offering to develop that space for yourself. And also every week again, to learn aspects of yourself. And it's a mind shift. And 10 assumptions, yeah, that I'm sharing, what is a guideline of this program, yeah, are thought experiences. 10 assumptions that will shift your mind and is creating then more and more the space, yeah, for all those aspects to develop naturally inside of you. So, and to see them and to train ourselves already to look for it, not just in ourselves, but also in others. We are starting to see them in others when we are training ourselves. And when we are starting to really to see that we are absolutely amazing as we are, and not that we are damaged. You are not damaged. You are formed. You are not damaged. There is not a single thing in you that should not be there, and there is not a single thing too much or too little. You are nothing missing, nothing. Yeah, and that is something that we learn in these 3 months of the program, and because we are busy with it really every day. And I'm using an app for that, yeah, which you're having, and every day you open an app and you get some inspirations, you get some questions. Every day you will talk now to your designated partner for a few minutes, and so that this process really takes place. It's really a mind shift towards yourself, that you can also feel, yeah, that you are a brilliant person, and that is the only thing that you need in order to truly develop yourself in your very own way for all the aspects that you are. So this is what we are training ourselves in this program, and there are many people that have followed this program already, and there are just some participants' voices, yeah, that I want to share with you, and what they have actually really undergone, yeah. And the beauty is you really stop expecting something Yeah, it is just that as if you're going to an absolutely astonishing restaurant. Yeah, you blindly say to tell the cook something for me, and you know it will be just amazing. And you don't have to know how he cooks it, and you don't have to know of what he finally will bring. It will be just delicious. And this is also this kind of excitement, yeah, that you have without actually really having to know of what it is. And that is what we are training ourselves in these 3 months. So yeah, how is it going? You know, how is this program going? And it's not that I want to tell you to call me and then I'm having a program for a few €1,000 for you. Yeah, I just share with you like how what it is. We have a mentorship program of these 3 months that is 200, oh, €290. I don't know why €290 for the 3 months. Sorry for that, but if you insist, I'm okay with it. But this €290 for 3 months, yeah. And because I just have used a new app and I made some changes and so on, and I added some very nice guided processes in the app, and we're starting with a new group. I'm offering you of the Transcend and Create Coach program 3 meetings. So you can join 3 meetings, even if you take the program, the mentorship program, where you have the app, you have the mentorship meetings, you have the voice sharing, powerful exercises, and so on. So you go through this whole process, and you can then even decide after the three meetings if you want to continue in the mentorship program, or if you want to switch to the Transcend and Create program. But that is just up to you. You can decide that just for yourself. But I know for sure only these 3 meetings that you will have in the coach program, you will already benefit very much from it. Yeah, even if you say like, oh, my pocket doesn't allow more than the 290. So that is just fine. Yeah. So, and that is with when you decide to take that offer of this webinar. Yeah. So these are the things. I think another participants empowerment, lightness in life. Yes, is also what I see. It's a lightness because it takes all the pressure out. You don't have to be anything. You can just observe what is there and you start becoming curious to what it will develop. Yeah? So, and that is something very different as that we are all the time having to set targets of how we have to be and what we have to develop inside of ourselves, what kind of traits we need, and so on. We start just observing ourselves, yeah, in order to like what kind of brilliancy it will be. Another benefit has this coach program because we don't have a certain day that you have to start. That means everyone can do this program in his own pace. So when you have a week that you have a lot to do with his work, or you're going on a holiday or something like that, yeah. So you can just say like, oh, this week I do 2 weeks, about 1 week, or I take a break. Yeah. So because you do your program as it fits to you in your very own specific way, also here. Yeah. Yet at the same time, you have the benefits of the group. We learn from each other. You're meeting wonderful people, yeah, in the group, and you have your designated partner. You're blogging and you're sharing with, and you're also having someone who will share his inspirations with you, which is also always wonderful to hear, and also keeps us in the process. One more time. Yeah. So many things. Oops. Okay. It's possible that you say, I'm not sure yet, you have some questions, yeah? And that is perfectly okay, because it is a real mind shift. And I hope that I was able to inspire you, yeah, towards it, that you see like, okay, this is something which is really a shift, you know, and it's a different way of thinking about myself. Yeah? And when we tell ourselves, I'm a full potential, I'm only potential, we look always in the food basket, wanting to have all kinds of stuff that is perhaps not even you. Yeah? We just need to look of what is there. Yeah? Just need to look of what we have already inside of us and making space for that. That is all what is needed. And it's possible that you say, okay, I'm not yet sure. I do have some questions. So feel free to have a talk, because it is quite a mind shift. And for that purpose, it might be also good to have a short talk with me to see, like how is your personal situation. Yeah, and if it's okay, you see now a link in the screen, and when you click on that one, you can book just a short talk with me. I've put some extra timings, and we meet and we talk, and we can see like how that can be a fit to you, and if this program in your personal situation is the right choice. So feel free to click on the link. Okay, yes, it is. Okay, thank you for your comments. Thank you. Yeah. So feel free. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and to contact me. You have, I think, my number, or via the website. Yeah, you have, I think, my contacts. So this offer that I'm now offering is only in the month May. In the next month, it's not there anymore. I want to gather some group we are starting off with, and of course, it's nice to have some people who start together. So this is also why I thought like I make it interesting for you, and also to create momentum. Yeah, momentum in order to choose. Yeah, now your situation, to choose now to make a step for yourself. Yeah, in order to have this energy being built up inside of yourself, which is not like a coaching where you just have worked on certain topics, because you are creating a totally different environment for yourself. You are really transcending the relationship that you have with yourself. And this is of very, very, very high value, for everything that you do. Okay. So I don't know if there are any questions or anything that you want to comment, or that you want to ask, or yes, Peter. Yeah, thank you, thank you. I hope that you decide to join into the program. Yeah, you can just let me know, and I organize it for you on my website, and I put it here in the chat. Wait. mynewex.com. Yeah, so that is the website. Yeah, mynewex.com, my new world experience, because it's really, really a very own world you're entering. Yeah, it's, let me not lie to you, because it is some, I don't want to say it's intensive, yeah, that you really have to sit for hours every day. It's not at all. But such kind of shift, yeah, is not done by understanding. It has to really sink into your system. Yeah, it has really to sit into your system, and to has to become. And for that purpose, it's a daily program. It just like when you do fitness or something like that. It doesn't help when you go once a month. Yeah, so when you really want to build these muscles of love for yourself, yeah, it is something. This shift happens when we spend every day a few minutes with it, every day. And then the shift comes. And then we are starting really to see the beauty in yourself and also in others. And let me share, this is absolutely worthwhile doing these efforts. Yeah. And to bring this kind of energy into your life for yourself, and also later in others. And you start seeing people in other ways. Yeah. So, Nokis, I like. Yeah, you like the name. Yes, New World Experience. Yes, it's a new world. It's still the same you're in, but you look at it from a very different kind of perspective. Yeah? And that makes all the difference. That makes all the difference. Okay. Yeah. So I'm within the time on the minute. So let me thank you so much for joining, giving me this hour, and for staying the whole presentation. That is really wonderful. It shows me that it's also speaking to you, and take the momentum. Yeah, make a choice in order to let it also work for you. And if there is a challenge you're meeting at this moment, yeah, click now on the link and choose to have a small talk with me, not a small talk, but a short talk with me. Yeah, and let us talk about it, how it can fit into your life, into your personal situation as you are having it at this very moment. Yeah, so take the momentum, make that very first step, and choose to have that talk with me. Okay, so let me thank you. And oh, there's still someone typing, so let me wait. Yes. Okay, Claudia. Yes, also. Thank you for your time, and I hope we will meet. And when you found it interesting, yeah, just please invite other people to come. In the month of May, I still have like 3 more webinars to go, and tell other people about it. Tell it, just have a listen to it. Just get yourself inspired to change how you look at yourself. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the evening and let it sink in. And I hope you're contacting me, and we will have another 3 months together in a very extraordinary journey together. Thank you, and have a good night. Yes. Yes, thank you. Yes. Yes, you're welcome. Yes, you're very much welcome. Have a good evening. Have a good night. Yes, Peter. I I okay. I'm trying to get you in, and I'm done, and I'm through. Very good. And we are